tornado behind it's actually causing it to lift. If this particular mesocyclone here gets its act together, this is going to be the one that puts a lot of that takes a lot of the energy and will probably be the long track. It's kind of defined. This is really pulling in the most energy. It has its own little feeder band just to the right, kind of out of the shot. Actually lowering down with it out of the wall cloud. You can kind of see right there that is continuing to grow. It's continuing to spin here. So I think if everything keeps its act together, this particular spot we're showing you right here is going to end up becoming a pretty large tornado.
A tornado warning is in effect for southeastern Caddo County right now. What you've been watching for the past 1 hour here on News Channel 4 has been 4 tornadoes. 1 or 2 of them may have briefly been about a low-end F2. Difficult to say, but in terms of the rotational speed of the tornado, somewhere in that range. This is a new mesocyclone. This is heading into Grady County. There may or may not be a long track tornado with this. We don't know for sure yet in terms of a long track tornado. However, as quickly as it's cycling and spinning up new mesocyclones and new tornadoes, it is an especially dangerous supercell, similar to some dangerous supercells, at least lower end in that category, if you will, that we have had in the past, because it is cycling and changing very, very rapidly. And this is a large mesocyclone, as John Welsh just indicated. Let's go to the storm tracker. Where is this? It's 45 miles southwest of downtown Oklahoma City right now. You see it's a clear supercell now with a hook. It has baseball, almost baseball size hail with it, so hail size has gone up from quarters to golf ball to baseball. It is now going to be exiting Caddo County here pretty shortly, heading into Grady County, you folks in Chickasha and Verdon in particular. Chickasha at 333, Pocasset at 342, Amber at 346, and then we're talking about Tuttle at 401, Bridge Creek at 406, Mustang at 4:15 p.m. this afternoon. Let's go back to Bob Moore, Chopper 4 Live on this. John.
Yeah, Mike, right now that's that storm or that particular rotating part of the storm that we've been showing you. It can't really get its act together. There is getting, it kind of will touch down a little bit, come back up. The feeder band is continuing to grow. The biggest thing I'm noticing now is how fast this thing is moving. I'll move 1 or 2 miles away, and about the time I get turned around, it's back on us. So we're just going to try and get 8 or 9 miles away so we can kind of hold a hover and give you a little bit better shot, and we'll just zoom in. But the speed of this thing has really picked up. When we very first arrived here, it seemed like we could kind of stay in the same spot and everything was really slow going. Now it's kind of picked its wheels up and it's continuing to move almost dead east, maybe just a little bit north, but the majority of the time it's east. But it is moving pretty quickly here. You can kind of see it starting to do its little normal thing. It's going to rotate a little bit. It's going to kind of pull a little bit of energy in. That feeder band is continuing to grow, but it still doesn't have the tight rotation to actually put a big tornado down. I think one of the big stories is just north of this storm with the amount of lightning and heavy rain that's inside of there. So if you're in the lightning area, obviously take precaution. That's one of the things that I've noticed the most out of this is the lightning just northeast of the storm, Mike.
Okay, let's double box this. Let's go to the South Doppler double box. This could be a developing larger tornado right here because the mesocyclone is spinning stronger and it's much larger now. This is just to the southeast of Indian City. The tornado warning is going to be extended into Grady County. Grady County, Verdon right there, Chickasha right there in the path of this cyclic tornadic supercell. We may be witnessing a larger tornado making an attempt to form right now. Let's go to Mark Dillard, who's tracking it. Take the chopper shot full here.
Yes, Mike. It's got intermittent small funnels that will come out, especially on the looks like the north and east side. I'm trying to come up Highway 8 out of Cyril. It's off to my north and just back to my east now. As soon as I make the curve here, I'll be heading due north, and it'll be off to my east. Just about, let's see here, about 10 south of Anadarko and about 6 south of the Anadarko airport. And it's starting to really get its act together now, Mike. It's beginning to become more well-defined, funnel shape, and it still has an intermittent small funnel out of the front of the, it's almost like a double helix, and then it's got a smaller funnel that's coming out of the side to the east side of it. Of that east helix there, the east funnel. So it's very ragged at times, and then it'll start to become a little more tightened up. But nonetheless, we've had at least 2 touchdowns, intermittent touchdowns at that I've witnessed. So this thing, you mentioned, and I hate to do that, talk about May 3rd this way, but this is similar area that I chased 3rd in a similar situation where it was an intermittent funnel in contact early on, and then it became a very large destructive tornado as it progressed toward the metro. So folks from basically Anadarko south and then back over to the east toward Chickasha up the I-44 corridor, this is the time to have your weather plan ready to go at a moment's notice. Back to you, Mike.
Good call, Mark Dillard. Mark Dillard is a veteran of May 3rd, and he was right here in this area May 3rd. The mesocyclone is getting larger, and it is getting stronger. Mesocyclone's apparent circulation. This might be a developing significantly strong tornado right here. It may be intermittently putting down suction spots or little vortices underneath this intensifying larger rotation, but this whole thing here, this whole thing from there to there, that whole thing, based on what we see on the live Doppler from our South Dop, which is down there at Newcastle, we're looking right at it, this whole thing appears like it's going to make an effort to come down to the ground. Look at the hook. Well-defined hook, intensifying low-level large circulation. Hail size now is just under baseball size. And tornado warning, as we mentioned earlier, Grady County. Your time of arrival, Chickasha 334. If you're in the path of this, you need to be out of your mobile home. You need to be in a storm cellar or basement, or at least have the door open on that rascal and get ready to go down in it. Stay away from windows. If you don't have anything that's substantial like an underground shelter or a storm cellar or a basement, interior part of your home, as many walls between you and the outside of your home as possible, away from windows like a small bathroom or a closet. Look at that. Look at that tornado forming right there. Mark Dillard's got it. New tornado. That should be the 5th one now that's been on the ground. Mark Dillard, go.
Yes, Mike. Intermittent funnel here kind of gets a little more ragged at the base, and then it spins up, gets tighter, then it basically ropes out or basically dissipates right there in front of you. This is... we've had several intermittent touchdowns here, folks. I'm going to be about 8 south of Anadarko on Highway 8, south of Highway 62. So this is on a beeline, basically, toward the Verdon, Chickasha area. Folks, you got to get weather aware and alert right now. It's over open country for the most part, Mike. No towns in direct.
Mark Dillard, stay with us. Stay with us, Mark Dillard. This is a developing, significant, and large tornado. Look at the hook. We're getting a donut hole inside the hook. It's happening right now live before your eyes, second by second, moment by moment. If you're in Verdon, if you're in Chickasha, now is the time. You need to think about where you need to go to save your life, protect your property. Verdon, Chickasha, developing significant tornado. This is just a development in the past 2 minutes. 3 minutes time, it is going to a potential large tornado. Tornado warning in effect for Grady County. Mesocyclone has gotten much larger, much more intense, and this is a significant developing tornado right now. Could be in the F3, give or take, F3 category, plus or minus from F3. Right here, Verdon, you folks in Verdon, that's Verdon right there. And then down Highway 9 to Chickasha. Right now it is on a direct path. Let me say it again, direct path for Chickasha. So we're giving you the forewarning right now. We don't want anybody injured. We don't want anybody killed. Tornado could be quite significant and large, developing right now, still in Caddo County, but it is heading directly for Chickasha. This is a forewarning for you. Get the word out to these folks. It is 3:15 right now. Let's go to the storm tracker. Time of arrival for Chickasha, 3:34, okay? 3:15 right now, 3:34, Chickasha, direct path. Let's be perfectly clear what's happening here. You need to be taking your tornado safety precautions right now. Let's go back to Mark Dillard. Go, Mark.
Yes, Mike. Still have that developing large area of rotation. It's going to be off to my due east. Hang on, Mike. I got a road to go through here with a lot of water on it. We've had a ton of rain down here. A ton of ponding on the roads. The bar ditches are full, but the most intense part of this storm is the tornadic feature to it that's off to my east now as I'm coming into the south side of Anadarko. It's going to be about 5 to 6 southeast of Anadarko proper, south of 62, heading towards Verdon and the west side of Chickasha, Mike. Very similar to the May 3rd path. Folks that can remember that down around these parts, it was intermittent connected. from time to time.